Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Roger Hoover now pleased to be joined by one of our outstanding freshman gymnasts at the University of Alabama, Kylee Kvamme, who is competing well for the Crimson Tide this year. As now you get ready, turn the page on SEC championships. You got to be fired up for NCAA regionals coming up here in Tuscaloosa. But roll Tide, thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Super excited.
How have you enjoyed this freshman year?
I love freshman year so far. Getting to meet all the girls and just making memories on the team has been the best part.
How have you seen this team grow as the season's gone along to posting higher scores and having better results as time's gone on?
I know the coaches have really changed up this year, making everything a little bit harder just so that we get the most out of this year. And I haven't even noticed that there was a change until they really said something about how much different this year has been. And we all handle it really well, and they teach us how to grow and stuff like that. So,
what do some of those changes look like?
A lot of the conditioning is harder. Like their standards for when we came back into gym was a lot higher than they were in the past. And well, obviously the freshmen didn't know that because we weren't here the years before, but they didn't seem to be like super changed by that. They just went along with it.
Do you like having that too as a freshman? Now that is the standard you're used to, so that's going to make things, I imagine, a lot easier in the next few years.
Yeah, it also I like talking to the girls that are going to be coming up next year, so I like to prepare them too. So knowing that it's changed a lot from the past years, I can tell them you never know what could change too. So be ready.
Be ready, and that's what the Crimson Tide will be coming up for regionals coming up here in Tuscaloosa. How special is it knowing you get another opportunity this week to compete at Coleman Coliseum?
Yeah, it's super exciting. I think, well, there's also no class Friday, so I hope a lot of people come in. But we've told a lot of people to come in, but a lot of our friends can come in and stuff like that, so it'll be really cool.
Have you enjoyed the home atmosphere, especially for some of the big meets where a lot of people are here?
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's crazy how loud it gets, and we were also second ranked for the SEC and population and stuff coming into the meet, so really cool.
That's really good. It's all been part of a remarkable freshman year for you and this large freshman class as well. Just if you could just tell us how this class has really gone through the transition to collegiate gymnastics together.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix because some of us were level 10 and some of us did do elite. So I like the combination we have added because some of us are super fierce, like Ashley wants us, and then some of us have a lot of that joy, and it makes a good combination when some of us can get on somebody for doing something bad, but also make somebody laugh when they shouldn't be all that frustrated.
And even though you all are freshmen, you start to get to know some of the returning upperclassmen. Do you all feel like just one team now as the season's gone along?
Yeah, we really do. We don't even look at age or class or anything like that or experience in gymnastics. It's really just who has the ideas and who's willing to say them and stuff like that.
Who were some of the leaders that really helped welcome you to this program?
Sorry, who?
Some of the leaders.
I really looked at Gabby Gladio and Lily Hudson. Gabby, I feel like I'm pretty similar to her within like our motivation and stuff like that. So she really helped me just like get into the program and just like let loose and not really be so uptight and worry about what the coaches are thinking because they recruited me. So like she just really knew that there shouldn't be that much stress and stuff like that.
What events have you been competing on this year?
I've been doing vault and beam, but vault more than beam. So,
what have you liked about vault this year?
Well, I like that it's really fast. There's not much worrying going into it. So, and it's just super fun because you just run down the vault runway, land, and then all the team runs up with you. It's super fun.
Best adrenaline ruch really in gymnastics.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
What has been the skill set you've been focusing on in vault?
I do a Utrenko 1.5.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So again, fans have been able to watch you perform all year for Alabama, but we want to know how you got to Alabama. First of all, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Seattle, Washington, around that area.
Gymnastics always part of your life?
I've been doing gymnastics since I was about 3. I started in like Mommy and Me classes.
So your mom helped get you into it?
She was very adamant about me and my brother being in sports. So
that's good. Did she play any sports?
No, she yeah, she actually was born in the Philippines. I mean, there's not that many sports there, but she was telling me that she was always active with like climbing trees or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah. So she wanted us to be athletic and in shape and stuff.
So that goes right into gymnastics. So you get in those early classes starting at 3 years old, a lot of tumbling, starting to get some of the fundamentals down. When did it become just a little bit more than a hobby for you?
Well, when I was really young, around 6, I did ballet and gymnastics, and coaches seemed to see that I was picking things up faster, and my mom wanted me to choose between ballet and gymnastics, and clearly I chose gymnastics. But it started getting really serious when I was at a gym and it ended up closing, and they sent me into another gym, and that gym put me in the elite program. But then I ended up moving into a different program because that one, I don't really remember what happened, but I didn't stay there. But then we kind of realized that there was a possibility of me going elite. But once I moved to another gym, they just kept me in level 9. And then I moved up to level 10. And then with my mom being a Philippine citizen, I was able to get my dual citizenship and then compete for the Philippines. So doing elite for the Philippines is probably the best opportunity I've had.
How meaningful was that for you getting that dual citizenship? And especially, I'm sure your mom, so much pride seeing you be a Philippines national team member.
It's amazing because my family in the Philippines, I've only met them a couple times because it's hard to go over there and things like that. But having them being able to watch me, because it's all over the news there and stuff like that with the gymnastics program they have there, having them have the opportunity to watch me in person and also just like watch me on the news and watch me on TV is so cool because they really can't really watch anything I do here. So
what have been some of the championships you've competed with the Philippines national team?
Yeah, I've only competed a few. I went to Asian Championships in 2023 and then World Championships in 2023. And then hopefully there will be some meets coming up this summer. So
Olympics, certainly a goal.
Yes, that's obviously a goal, but that's super far into the future. I just got to see how the body holds up and things like that.
Well, I'm sure it's helpful as well. You have someone who's not necessarily a teammate this year, but part of the family, the Alabama Gymnastics family, and Luisa Blanco. Have you gotten to pick her brain a lot?
Yeah, I've talked to her about going to the Olympics, and she said it was amazing being there, especially being there for her country. So.
Well, that's really good. So again, you're starting to have all this success at the junior level and getting in towards a high school age. Was college gymnastics always something you were thinking about?
Yeah, obviously when I was really, really young, I didn't really know much about college gymnastics, especially my parents weren't like college fans, you know what I mean? So they were always like NFL, all that thing. So I didn't really know much about college gymnastics, but once I got older, all of my older teammates started going to college and going to like Pac-12 then, but my coaches really didn't know anything about the SEC, so when I came here, they were all in shock. Yeah.
What do you enjoy about the recruiting process? How many schools do you hear from? A lot?
Yeah, I heard from a lot. I was going through an injury at that point, so recruiting was a little bit different, so it was a bit later for me. But I did hear from a lot of schools. I only took 3 official visits, and Bama was my first one, so.
So you make that official visit, you come here to Tuscaloosa. What stood out to you the most about this place?
Probably the team culture and, well, obviously being in the South, it was a whole different community, and I really loved it here.
Oh, that's really good. It starts with the team, coaching staff as well. What was it like getting to know Coach Johnston at first?
They were amazing. I saw how like the drive in Ashley's eyes, but also like the joy that in the playful set that Justin and Meals had, and it just felt like home to me.
Does it help too that she was a gymnast here and won a national championship, has such a great pedigree as a player, but also backs it up with her coaching?
Yeah, it really does because she just knows exactly what we're thinking and what we're going through, and I think that's just how she helps the best.
So again, you took 3 visits, but eventually when it came to National Signing Day, you wrote down the name Alabama. Is there any one thing you could pinpoint why Alabama stood out among the rest?
I think definitely the coaching staff and the girls had probably the biggest, because when I came here and I asked like, how is there any like problems on the team and stuff like that, they're honestly like, no, like if there is, we solve them. At other schools they said there was, so I was a little bit like, okay. So
So stay away from the drama. We're good teammates here at Alabama.
Yeah, like they just work so well together like a family. So.
And that's really good. So you're able to come here to Tuscaloosa to start your freshman year. How'd this team grow in the fall and really get on the same page getting ready for this year?
We have built a lot of trust in order for us to really solve any conflict or any arguments and now it's like there's not really any arguments, and if there is, it gets solved in super fast. Like they just nip it in the butt. And a lot of adversity the team has been able to work through and things like that, and it makes everybody grow a lot. So like we had the flu a while ago, and it just seemed like everybody wanted it even like more to win and things like that. So
yeah, and then some injuries pop up during the season as well. You love how your teammates encourage each other even when they're going through things like that.
Yeah, seeing a teammate go through an injury and being able to come back mid-season is really crazy, and nobody in the like fans and things like that don't see the work that they've put in. So being able to see someone come back out into the gymnastics is just amazing.
And you mentioned fans don't get to see all the work that goes in. I mean, you practice these routines over and over again during the week, and even Fridays, over and over again in pregame warm-ups, but then it all comes down ultimately to how you perform. Is that why there's such a big burst every time a great routine happens for one of your teammates of excitement?
Yeah, honestly, when I see a teammate do something that they constantly do every day in practice, I think I have more joy than they do for themselves, because you see how much work and frustration and sweat they've put in, and them being able to finally pull that out onto the floor is just amazing.
I asked you earlier about competing at home here in Tuscaloosa at Coleman Coliseum, where all the fans are on your side rooting for you. It's a little bit different sometimes going on the road in SEC play. How was it navigating those tough road environments in the conference?
Ashley prepared us so well. I mean, we did insane sets in the gym, like completely silent, as much noise as we could. She's put things on the line, like coming back after practice to redo it, or moving practice like an hour earlier or anything like that. And it just made the pressure so much different. So like when I went there, it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought. I was expecting a lot worse. So once I got there, I was like, oh, okay, this is okay.
And then, too, you guys have gone through so many different events. You've had the head-to-head matchups, and especially in conference play. But then, like we just saw, Elevate the Stage and the quad meet in St. Louis as well. Do you like that you've had all these experiences to get ready for the postseason?
Yeah, I really do. I like that we've started on every event. So, like, whatever happens, if we start on a different event, we'll be ready for it.
Started to have some wins down the stretch of the season. What was the mindset going into SEC championships?
Just give everything you got. Don't change anything. Don't change your approach. Do what you know how to do and just be aggressive.
What are you most proud of from that night?
I think I'm probably most proud of the team just being able to stay locked in. Like, I really don't think anyone slipped away for a second into their own brain or what was going on around them. Everyone just stayed all together, and it just made us continue and stuff like that.
Well, staying together is really important for a team like this. So we've heard before spike ball is a huge deal. Is that still one of the most popular games among your teammates, or have you started some new traditions?
When I first got here, spike ball was huge, and I'm pretty sure somebody rolled their ankle. So we have not been playing that as much, especially being in postseason, but I will not doubt that it comes back right after season when we have nothing to do. So
anything else fun, like especially on the road or anything like that you guys do to stay loose?
Well, when we've traveled to colder climates and there's been snow, we've definitely got into snowball fights, and the coaches get really angry because we bring them onto the bus and stuff like that. We've also, during Thanksgiving, we played a little bit of like football, but not really, you know what I mean? And that's honestly really fun. So.
Oh, that's good. Well, how much have you enjoyed being a student athlete here at Alabama, getting to know some student athletes from other sports?
Yeah, it's been really fun, especially just like being able to like meet them and then see them like actually play is really cool.
You've been able to go to a lot of football games or men's and women's basketball games, soccer games, things like that?
Yeah, I've been to football games, soccer games, baseball. Super cool.
You mentioned your family is mostly NFL. Are they now all in on Crimson Tide football?
Yeah, my dad was a huge Dallas fan. So he knew about Nick Saban, and he was excited and being like, Alabama's really cool. Like, I think you should check it out. And then he actually really loved it. So it was nice.
That's good. What's been your focus in the classroom?
Well, it's actually funny. I already switched my major in my freshman year.
That happens. That's good. Yeah.
I started out as a kinesiology major, and I was in biology, and I did not like it at all. So I ended up switching to business marketing. So I'm planning on staying in business marketing, I hope, and moving in towards like I've been thinking about what's it called? housing and things like that, like realtors and things like that, and then also working for the Philippines Gymnastics Commission.
That's really special.
Yeah.
So again, hopefully a great strong finish coming up this spring. What's
Yeah.
the summer going to look like for you before you begin your sophomore year next year?
I will be staying here. For most of summer, obviously I'll go home and see my family and things like that. But there's possibilities of me competing for the Philippines and like Korea. So.
Well, that's awesome opportunity. Well, best of luck coming up with all that. Before we let you go, just what message would you give to the fans before they come back to Coleman Coliseum this weekend, watch you all perform? What do you hope they get to see?
I hope they see us dominate and take charge, and I also hope they see how much work has been put in to also even just getting them there to be put in regionals and be in that seat to actually go to nationals and things like that.
Is there a lot of motivation too, just to give these seniors kind of the send off they deserve?
Yes.
We've had senior night already, but this is truly when it gets towards the end of the year. You never know what could be the last meet.
Yeah, really. I've said it over and over, but I don't want it to be Lily's last vault. I need her to stick it one more time, and hopefully they give that 10 to her. So
we'd love to see it. Well, Kylee Kvamme, you're off to a great start in your Alabama career. Just thank you for all the time you've given us, and best of luck coming up in the postseason. Roll Tide.
Thank you. Roll Tide.